Welcome back, listeners, joggers, TikTokers, however this is your podcast is. This is Ryotin with the Rogue Contenders, and doing kind of a special edition episode. I don't have no idea when it's going to go up. It'll probably be put up in between our regular scheduled one. This is kind of a special episode. Think of it as a pilot for a spinoff that we will do. We're going to call it, actually, it's going to be something called Love, Marriage, and Card Games. So I am joined here by my wife, and we're going to basically just discuss different things that comes with love, marriage, and being married to someone who loves card games, and talk about stand-up card games as well. Are you going to introduce yourself so people know who you are?
Okay, my name's Pika Girl. I'm Ryotin's wife.
That's it? That's all about you? Like, where are you from? What's your age? What do you do? Like,
I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I'm 27, and I work full time as an assistant manager.
all right, good. So, like, don't she's kind of shy here. This will be her second time on the podcast. First one, that whole audio got completely messed up. But no, we're here, so to talk about a couple different things here. So, if you do like this series, let us know below, and then again, we can possibly have this call of a spinoff where we will go a little more details about, just being in love with people, marriage, and then how does card game affect relationships, or is it positives, is it negative? We'll go to all the things that make that as well as a weekly thing that any viewer can tune in and listen to and hear some of our relationship advice or woes and ups and downs. I think it'd be very helpful for each other. But first, let's start with this one because we're going to always talk about it. We're always going to be promoting it, which is Alpha Clash. So I talked candidly and expressed so many times about why I got to Alpha Clash, but I want to hear your personal thoughts. I know it's easy for you to say I got Alpha Clash because you were in Alpha Clash. Well, no listeners don't want to hear that. Why did Alpha Clash appeal to you? So go ahead and start with your experience of you first learning about the game, playing the game, and to how you feel about it now.
My first experience playing the game was in Origins. They had a booth set up. You were really into it. So I sat down and played. I played Moxie the first time. And I just fell in love with the deck and the cards themselves. Especially a lot of the artwork for him. And it just blossomed from there. Now I'm at the point to where I love the game so much that I usually stick to one deck when I play, and now I have about 4 or 5 different decks, and I vary between the 5 of them.
So out of the 4 or 5 decks, which one is your favorite?
Right now I have 2 top favorites.
Okay.
Clarity, absolutely love her, always have. She was one of the first decks that I was really excited to play. And then my second one would hands down be War.
Be War.
Yes.
Okay. So as you've watched our YouTube videos, you kind of see her playing War. Let's talk about the Clarity one. What build do you have with Clarity? What colors are you running?
White and black and Clarity.
White and black Clarity?
Yeah.
Okay. I do feel like with Magnet and Moxie, them being kind of the front runners for the 2 first decks came on the Clash kits, they're very, very easy to learn, but I do feel Clarity is the next card to learn when you're kind of stepping into like a competitive realm, because it is, I would say, it's a thinker deck. There's a lot of filtering your deck out, a lot of putting things on your deck, filtering your decks out, drawing cards, getting cards you need in your hand. But knowing what you need in your hand, it's basically knowing your deck, knowing the deck you're playing against, and knowing what cards you are actually looking for. And that's why I say I do feel Clarity is probably one of the best contenders when you're getting into that competitive realm from that. So,
like, the best thing with Clarity was that you're able to pretty much not really stack your deck, but you know what's coming.
Oh, that's stacking your deck. That's pretty
So
much
with her ability that you get to look at the top 2 cards, determine where you want them to go, it just helps the deck way more.
it does. And again, for people who don't know, Clarity is One contender from set 1. So again, you haven't looked into it, check that out. We probably have an updated list for clarity coming onto the YouTube channel at some point, not sure when. So again, so you played Moxie, and what, besides me dragging you over to the booth, what made the experience at the booth so appealing for you? 'Cause I know we demoed a bunch of different games, and I would say you only pretty much stuck with Alpha Clash from that. So what was about it that really drew you to it?
Well, the experience with the team there that they had, they were real friendly. They showed the passion for the game, which a lot of people don't do when they're doing starter games or starting off something like this. It's kind of just like they throw it together and this is how it goes.
Mhm.
But with Alpha Clash, I felt there was a whole lot more behind the scenes, and everybody there felt so passionate about the game. And it just drew me a little closer because I know how you are with your card games, and the passion, it was there for not only you, but for them with the game.
See, again, I agree with that, and that's why I always say I feel Alpha Clash was so appealing because it was the demoing, it was getting you excited about the lore, and then playing the game and it being so easy to understand without a lot of questions. Maybe you might ask, exactly what this card does, or about, certain thing like, okay, cool, can I recur a card from the graveyard? And then like, no, it has to be one already in there. So, but it was very easy to understand the game, and the rules were so much quick. I'm going to say it. I have no part. This is my freaking show. I can say what I want to. Cause another card game that was there was Primal TCG, and I feel personally why Primal is not picking up the steam the way Alpha Clash is was because the game was too complicated for anyone to ever truly understand.
I felt like it went too long.
That's nothing. Where your games for, say you do a best 2 out of 3, your round 1 game was lasting an hour.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because, somebody playing a stall deck or something. No, that's just a normal gameplay that lasts an hour. And even though I did win one of their tournaments there, I won because the majority of my wins came from that we went to time. And that's how I ended up winning. It wasn't because I like, oh cool, I just swept the front. No, it went to time. Where with Alpha Class, I felt like the games were always back and forth. And I just remember vividly getting when I played Magnate and getting smacked by Moxie when it got all of his armors out and I couldn't do anything to stop it. And I thought that was just the fun part about it, where you could be up in the game, something happens, and then it just completely goes away. And that's even kind of now, where you'll hear me say all the time, boom for game, which is very true. You could be up, you could be winning, then somebody hits you with a boom, and it's like, cool, game 2. How many times have you been boom for game?
I think you've only successfully done boom for game maybe 4 or 5 times.
I would say 4 or 5 times, yes. Now, I've been Solar Smash for game a lot more in set 2. And I know I said it before, like, I don't understand, because Solar Smash has always been around since the first set. But I feel in set 2, since there's a lot more non-clash damage cards out there, Solar Smash is basically Lightning Storm and Magic. You pay 2, you deal 3 damage. It's literally, you could literally go, cool, draw Solar Smash for game. You can't block it, you can't stop it, nothing you can do.
I've done that to you.
Yeah, Solar Smash for game is like, I would say Solar Smash for game is worse than boom for game. Yeah. At least boom for game, you have maybe a small inkling to survive it. If they don't have torques out, you'll be okay. But someone Solar Smash for game, you lost. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'd say that's probably, to me, one of the best designed cards out there because it's so quick, it's so lethal. You play it, what can you really do about it? Now, let's go ahead and move on to when set 1 dropped. And we started selling product. Were you surprised about how quickly things sold?
I actually was. I thought it was something that was going to be a little slower with it being new. Not knowing really how fast or well it would take off. And it surprised me when it sold as fast as we were putting it up.
Now, how do you feel about set 2?
It's still taking off and growing as fast as we're putting it up there. Uh,
So I feel like you're tons. So I would say I feel with set 2, for our store personally, we had less sealed product that has gone out. I do believe we have not really sold any sealed product since release, but we sold more singles than we did with set 1,
yes.
which for me, that is a very good thing because it's really hard to compete with Team Covenant when they have promos out. So a lot of people are buying it, getting those promos, either sell or keep. But a lot of people are buying singles, which for me as a competitive player, mean that people are buying cards for their decks.
Right.
Which to me, I rather sell 100 singles over 100 boxes any day. Reason for that is more of yes, I can get into nitty gritty of about the profit details, the profit margin. Cool. Yes, I make a bigger profit off selling singles than I do sell product. Every store owner knows that. That is not a secret. But for me, seeing people buy singles over sell product, I know that people are not just getting this stuff to hold on to it to see what it skyrocket like Pokemon. It's actual players going by and say, hey, I need these cards for my decks. I want to try out this deck. I want to buy this card. I want to foil out my deck. So I would rather see that coming
Absolutely
in.
love foils.
Again, like foils are amazing. I would love to see singles selling more than I would love to see sealed product selling. Because then I know for a fact people are buying cards to build decks with.
Right.
They're not just buying products to sit on it for years and expect to retire from it 40 years from now.
Right.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, what's the point of collecting?" I prefer for a card game to play the card game over collecting, and I feel Alpha Clash has a very good system where they keep the collectibles and the actual game separate. A lot of people don't see it that way yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at things from their Kickstarter, you look at things that they do for the special giveaways, if you look at that, those cards are for the collectors.
Right.
The Kickstarter cards are for the collectors. When the sets come out, those are for the players.
Mm-hmm.
Those are people who want to play the game. So there's ways that you can get stuff. Again, you're not going to take, yes, you may take, the War and Clarity and say, cool, there's a collector card. I want to get it. I get that. Those are the chase cards for the set. But you're not going to grab a Moxie fully loaded from set 1 and go get that graded.
No.
But you will get a, Clarity numbered card that came from the Kickstarter graded, and now you have a collectible card. So I do feel that's a part that I feel like a lot of people are missing out of Clash, that the collectible side and the TC side are completely separate from each other. Now, I heard you mention something about foils. What is your fascination with foils?
It makes the art pop a lot more. Just with the holographic look to it. To me, I love anything that's sparkly and shiny.
Sparkling and shiny, that's all you got? So would you say that you like to have some card game community called max rarity? Would you say that you're a max rarity person? Or you just want more of the foil?
Max rarity if I can have it, but mainly foils. Like I said, anything that's got that shimmer of sparkle shine to it, I want it.
Okay.
I think the only deck that I've just about fully successfully foiled out is War, and I think I'm only missing 4 cards.
What 4 cards are those?
That is the Haven Resourceful Helper.
Yeah, everyone's having issues getting that foiled. I think if I go to like Realms website right now, they may have them in stock. And I would say probably Haven foil is probably one of the most expensive foils out there. I do believe it's around like $6. At one point, they were sitting around $20
Oh, wow.
for the foil versions. But even now that the prices have dropped, a lot of people still don't even really have multiple play sets of Haven's. Let's see. Yeah, so it's going for about $4. We're sold out. Somebody went and bought all of ours, so I don't have it. And even Ram, they're sold out of the regular Havens and the non-foil Havens. So Havens are played sold out, and again, I touched on this before, but Haven is a card that has not been announced as being reprinted.
Really?
Yes, another Haven, only Haven Provoked has been stated that it's being reprinted. And it said, and of course, they just announced that Here Comes the Boom is being reprinted with a new art as well. And speaking on that, you like foilings and all that other fancy stuff. How do you like the art in set 2 compared to art in set 1?
The art in set 1 I felt was very dark. It had a lot of darker tones to it.
Okay.
Set 2 has brightened them tones. They pop a lot more.
Okay.
If I had to pick my favorite one between set 1 and set 2, it'd definitely be set 2. The cards are a lot brighter.
So you like the brightness of the cards?
The colors of them, yeah,
Okay.
they're brighter than set 1. Set 1 was very dark. And the designs for set 2 are amazing.
I will say that I would say probably the only thing that bothers me about the arts, it is very, very nitpicky and petty. It's not that I don't like the art. It's just more what bothers me the most is that when I pull a card and I don't have that new art for it. So like when I have like the Havens, I don't have Haven in her new art and her new art. So that just throws me off. Like it's not a big deal, but it throws me off. All right, now moving on, let's talk about some Alpha Clash a little bit more. What are your personal expectations, or what do you want to see coming from Alpha Clash that would keep you, as a female gamer, interested?
A lot of what I would want to see is just
Don't be scared now.
I lost my train of thought. um, I mean, me personally, I'm more into. I like the cards. So the better the cards are, the more support you get for the decks that you actually like. Like all of that, it just ties into one. I don't see myself not playing Alpha Clash anytime soon.
Mhm.
I love the card game itself, and the artwork is getting better and better every set so far that they've come out with. Um,
Okay, we got kind of dead air there, but that's fine. Um, so you're a girl, a
yes,
woman. I'm sorry,
yes.
you are a woman. So as a woman with aesthetics and things, what are some things you like to see them add for aesthetic wise?
Um, not too sure.
I can name like 6 things I know for a fact you will like that you're not even thinking about.
What are they?
I know you would like to have more deck boxes, more play mats, binders, sleeves.
Yeah, because I'm a really like matchy person. If like with my war deck, it has to be red sleeves or red deck box.
It's not that at all.
And it's not. My clarity, it was white sleeves, a white deck box because that's what she is. She's a white contender. My Moxie was black sleeves, black deck box. I am a really matchy person. I don't like to have things not the same color. So yeah, that those would definitely be some of the things that I would want. Yes.
Okay, so if they came out with, which I feel like it would be probably the first thing they do, a war, deck box sleeves, all that fun stuff.
I'd buy it.
You buy it instantly.
I would buy it
What
instantly.
what about merch? Would you ever buy any more hoodies?
Yes, I would.
What about hats?
I'm not really a hat person. Especially the ball caps. I'd be more of the stocking hats. I think that's what they're called.
They're called beanies.
Okay, well that um those I'd like, but I'd like to see them in more of a a girly one, not like a man one. So it's like I like the fuzzy balls on top of the hats and the colors. Like I'm a very colorful person.
I'm about to say, what does that mean? You don't want to manly? What does that even mean?
So like how a regular beanie, I guess that's the correct word for it. It's a plain color with the logo on it, which is normally black or white.
Right.
I like the pinks, the purples, the blues, and I'm a girl, so I want it girly. I don't want just a plain old stocking or beanie. I want one that I can have a pom pom on top of it, which is what the little furry balls are, um, and in different colors. I would like that more.
Okay. Okay. So you want um pom poms? Would you want like streamers set in alpha class colors? I'm not. I'm just picking questions here out the hat.
No, that's like I said, like the hats that I have now. They're pink. I think I have one black hat, but it has a pink tiara on it.
What do you?
Yeah.
I never seen it.
Um, but like all of my hats, they have that pop to it. They have that extra that females like. Well, some females like. I can't say all females.
Speaking on that, we touched on the episode before a couple weeks ago, actually a month ago. That was like 2 months. Who's keeping track? Not me. Woo. So again, tell me, how do you feel about being a woman playing card games amongst a predominantly male group?
Sometimes it can get a little frustrating. Um, but I haven't had any really hiccups with Alpha Clash. Um, I do get the moments that I feel like it's definitely overpowered by men, but it is a men dominant game. Not a lot of females play card games.
Okay, so what would you suggest to be done for, let's say this is to go for out class, to appeal to, what was something that you would say if you're going up to some women and you want to show them this game? What would you use to appeal to them? If you had to go off the top of your head, just random things, well, like, what would you say to them? Like you're walking through a convention center, you go up to a girl, hey, you, come here.
Well, I wouldn't be as aggressive as that, but I'd probably start with just a normal conversation and then see, like, throw Alpha Clash in there, see if it's something that they'd be interested in, show them, like, some of the cards, the artwork, like, just to pique their interest into it, and then be like, well, I can show you how to do it or play it if that's something that you would like. A lot of it is that with females, with some of us, um, me, I know personally, is that I've always tried to, how can I say this? Um, I feel like with it being a more male dominant thing, like you see a lot more males playing card games like this,
Yes.
that it's hard for females to play the game and the males not look at us like we don't know what we're doing.
Ooh, that's a good point. So when you say don't know what you're doing, do you mean like as in like saying you don't understand the rules, or
Between the rules, what cards do, like in previous games, learning how to play those ones, it was something that somebody would try to be like, oh no, you're playing that wrong. But it's my deck. I built the deck. I play test the deck. I play the deck. I know what my deck does.
okay.
So you sitting here trying to tell me, oh no, that's not right, or that's not how you play it, but that's your opinion. I know how to play the deck that I'm playing.
Okay, so you would say it's more of that being second guessed. Like, okay, you really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So then my next question is this. So just come back to it. what would you do to kind of have people show that, hey, this game is really, really fun. You should try this out. What's something that you would tell them from just seeing how the community is and how receptive the community is? What would you say to someone? What would you say to someone new? It can be girl or guy.
It's kind of like a tough question because you don't want to come off and sound too pushy.
Okay.
Um, and you don't want to come off as someone who doesn't care.
Okay. Okay.
Because you can come at it two ways. You can come at it as this is how the game's played. I can show you everything, how to do it all. Um, and then you would come off as being pushy, or as some people would call it, as a know-it-all. You think you know everything and anything, and nobody could tell you differently. The one like you would come off as you don't care is this is the card game. This is what it does. Do you want to play it?
Okay. So, how would you come across?
I'd probably be the one that would I'd be the first one. Like, this is the game, this is what it does, this is what it's based about. Like, this is everything that comes with it. These are what the cards do. Like, I'd be that one to be a pusher, I guess.
So you will be a pusher. Be pushing them hard drugs.
No, not drugs.
I'm sorry. No matter what I have to say, card games is 100% an addiction.
For some people, yes.
No, not for some people. Everybody who plays card games is 100% addiction. You know why?
I play card games.
Okay. I'm going to take what you just said. I'm going to raise you two. How often do you get yourself a pack of cards, you open it, and you immediately want to go ahead and open up another one?
Oh, all the time.
You can't just crack one. That sounds like a drug to me.
No, if I get a pack, I have to get at least a case, because, or not a case, but a box, because I open one and I'm like, all right, what am I going to get out of the next one? Or it's, oh, well, I know this is the card that I'm trying to get, and is it in that next one, or is it in that one after that? So especially with packs, that is addicting for me. It is one of the things that I love to do. I could sit and open 20,000 packs and be happy.
You can open 20,000 packs and be happy?
Yes.
What about that 2001? Maybe that has the card you're looking for. And foil.
Then I'm going to just keep on opening until I get what I want.
Sounds like an addiction. Told you. Card game is addiction. It's a rush that you get from it.
I guess if you look at it that way, yes.
I'm okay anyway. I'm just saying exactly how it is. It's an addiction. Okay, now, what are some other games that you have played?
I've dabbled in Primal. I've also played Disney Lorcana and Pokemon. I've also played Vanguard.
Okay.
Tried to do Dragon Ball. Didn't really understand it very well, so that was a no for me. I also played Yu-Gi-Oh! I think this, and My Hero.
You played My Hero, okay. Which one did you like the most?
Out of all of them,
not minus Alpha Clash.
Minus Alpha Clash. Okay. I would have to go with two. Vanguard and Pokemon.
Vanguard and Pokemon.
Yes.
Okay. What did you like about Vanguard?
Vanguard was that there were a variety of different decks to play. Along with me being a girl, the artwork. I loved the animal decks. They were my favorite. Just to see all the different ones.
That's okay. And then Pokemon. I feel like most I don't sound terrible when I say this, but it's the truth. Most girls gravitate towards Pokemon. Is it because of the Pikachu?
My gravitate towards Pokemon was because of Pikachu, but then playing the card games, playing the card game, playing the video games, um, it's all the different Pokemon.
Let me ask you a question. You just mentioned the game, and I have a very funny story. What's Water Week 2? Come on. Let us know.
I don't know.
Exactly. So that's the inside joke. She's playing Pokemon, and she switched into a Gyarados. People who know Pokemon very well. She switched into a Gyarados on electric Pokemon and didn't understand why it got hit with one shot and fainted. I said, because why did you do that? I had no answer. Like, did you have like earthquake or rock on it? No.
I had a blonde moment.
Are you naturally blonde?
No, I'm naturally brown. Probably should have been a blonde though.
You said naturally brown. That's funny. All right. So moving on to some things here, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions here. I have a list of things to ask you. So first question is this: how is it? No, okay. Let me ask you a question. Okay, were you interested, or did you know anything about card games before meeting me?
I've heard about them. I was never really interested in them. Growing up, I was a girly girl. I did hair, makeup, nails. That's all I cared
I
about.
feel like it's very sexist for you to say that because there are men that do hair and they're not girly girl.
As a female, that's what it was for me growing up, was hair, nails, makeup, clothes. Just I didn't get into card games very much at all.
You did not. Okay. So what made you get into them? I know you say because of me, but what really made you get into it?
Um, Mainly you. I saw how happy made you. And then the first game, and I will remember it forever. The first game that you ever tried to teach me was Vanguard.
Okay.
Between the deck build and how happy it made you feel, and it was a very easy for me to follow along with it being the first card game that I've ever played. And it came easy. I knew what to do. Didn't take me long after that to actually fall in love with the card game. Biggest thing I love about card games though is, this is gonna sound weird, other than playing the decks themselves, is the separation. The combining the cards with cards, the likes with likes, colors with colors. I like everything to be organized.
So you like organizing the cards?
Yeah.
Why? Like, I'm sorry, like relaxation thing.
It is a relaxing thing, but it's also a ease at mind.
Okay.
So that's like when we're deconstructing and reconstructing our alpha class decks is, all right, you're doing red and black, so all the red cards are in this box, all the black cards are in this box, all the blue cards are in this box. Everything's organized and it has its own place.
So let me ask you this question. I know some card game players, they are very, very organized. I am not one of those people. So
I make up for that.
So when I come in and I go, and then this girl just rampage stuff, I'm like, oh, I got an idea for a deck. And I just come in and start kicking stuff over. That don't do it for you?
It irritates me because I spend all that time separating and making sure that likes are with likes for that reason, and then you go through the box or the stack of cards and you just put it back however you see fit.
So I mean, so that segues into our very next topic of how is it with you being an organized person and dealing with the card game side of that with a very unorganized person when it comes to the cards itself. I'm an organized person. I'm not dirty, but when it comes to building decks, sometimes your mind goes a mile a minute and you start trying out things. So how is that? Living with someone like that, how does it make you feel?
Like I said, it does irritate me to a certain point, but I also remember that this is something that we both love to do. So you destroy it, I get to go back through and fix it. It irritates me because I feel like I just sat here for 4 or 5 hours separating all these cards, and within a matter of a half hour, you've gotten them completely out of order, in the wrong boxes, and all over the place. So then I have to sit for another 4 or 5 hours to fix what you destroyed in a half hour.
I can definitely agree with that. And then now bringing on to more questions, we go a little bit deeper into things. Um, with you dating someone that does, that does play card games with the mass consistencies that's very nerdy or uncool, how does that make you feel?
It's it makes me happy because it's something that you love. Um, I do not complain about it. I knew from the day I met you that that's what you liked. You never strayed away from that. You love the card games, the video games, all of it. And you embracing it the way you do, it makes that love grow even more.
Okay. So do you ever feel, and this happens a lot, do you ever feel that sometimes the dedication that goes into not even the fact of running a card shop, but just, you know, playing the card games, does it ever take a toll on you?
It does. I do feel like that sometimes. But I also need to remember that this is something that needs to be conversated between the two of us and not held in or back, or me not wanting to hurt your feelings because I don't want to do it right then and there.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
By what?
By not wanting to do it right then and there?
Like, you could sit down and you could play card games for hours upon hours upon hours and enjoy it. For me, I could sit for an hour or two, but then after that, I need a break. And I don't want to tell you that I want that break because I know how happy it makes you, but it also gets draining after a while when
Right.
you're sit and you play it for so long or for so many hours out of the day.
Okay. So, so I guess that's to keep segueing here into just more conversation about this. 'Cause I do feel a lot of people play card games or either in relationships or trying to get a relationship, but kind of struggling to find that balance between playing a card game and then again, a lot of times their significant others may not even be interested in it. And this goes for both men or women. Sometimes it could be a woman who's very into it, but the man is not. It's so my question is this, that you probably let our listeners know, is where do you find that balance?
Um, for us, it was more of a schedule. This is what we do this day. This is what we're doing this day. And to make sure that you put time in for it to be just you two, um, away from the business part of it.
Okay.
Um, between having a full-time job, running the card shop, you need that time for it to be just you two.
Okay. So and then let me ask this part right here. Do you feel more significant others should at least try to either understand the game or maybe go to an event together or when they're traveling? Because I know a lot of people will probably bite my head off. I'm kind of going to get guy code on this one. I do not feel that every event that your significant other goes to needs to have them going along with just their friends. I do believe, sometimes, yes, for the guys that want to hang out, have fun. But I do believe that sometimes that you should invite your significant other to those events, and when the event is over, in between the event, go do something together and possibly a new city you never been to. Do you agree with that?
I do. I feel like if it's something that they're into and you care as much as for them as you say you do, it's something that you should definitely try to pique an interest into. Um, if it's just sitting down and be like, hey, teach me about the game.
Mhm.
Or when's your next event? Let me go with you, see how it is. Or let me just tag along for the support. Just any way to show that person that you do care. You do care about their interest. Um, to show that no matter what they do, that you'll be able to try or at least be there to support them through whatever it is they come through between an event or playtesting or worlds. It just to be there for that support. And after the tournament or the game, if you decide to go do something else together afterwards, it could be anything. But I feel like the biggest thing with being in a relationship with somebody who is a diehard gamer, um, especially with card games, is to show that support.
I agree, because the support, it goes a very, very long way. And I do believe that also helps with maintaining a healthy relationship. Yeah, I think when it comes to card games, there is a lot of money that goes into it, a lot of time that a lot of people, like the same other, sometimes just don't understand. And for me, being a competitive player, off and on, it's that I'm putting a lot of money into this deck to go to these events. I'm taking time off work. I'm taking time off with family. I'm traveling, gas, hotels. It's a lot of money that goes into it, and no one wants to go to an event where they paid close to $400-$500 just to go, to lose because they didn't practice, or they didn't fine tune, or they didn't do it. So I do feel, coming from like the player side, that sometimes significant others don't understand the full grasp of what goes into it. Where some people can go, they can go to compete to have fun. They don't care if they win or lose. They're going to just to travel to a new city, meet up with friends. They probably don't talk to them online. You have them players where to win and to get to Worlds or get to Nationals, it's very, very important to them. And I see a lot of gamers like that. They are a lot of times, unfortunately, single, because it's a job within a job. And I feel like the right significant other has to see that and be able to connect with that and kind of understand. But I think that goes down to the marriage part of this sideshow, which is that communication piece. It's asking them that question of, hey, when you go, what do you actually win? I feel like significant others actually learn how much prize money is actually giving at these events. It will kind of click in their head like, oh, you're going here, you're paying them much money, and they're paying you to go, or they're paying this, and you get this money if you win. Shit, I want a new Gucci bag. Let me help. And I feel like, again, it goes back to that conversation. So, just to pivot into this, like, let's go over Level Up Expo, which is happening in April in Las Vegas. And again, if you don't know how you're going to get there, Southwest. That's a plug. But again, what they're doing for Saturday's event, first place gets 12 booster boxes, a top playmat, top 8 promos, and then a tier 3 invite. Meaning basically you get to go to the next level regional for free. I mean, not for free, but you get an invite to actually go. Because it means only the best of best can go. So again, that's for the first one. So first one, you basically get an entire case A case is about $1,000. So for that, I paid $40 for the event. I get get a case. On the second day, which is the $10,000 constructed tournament, first place you get cash prize of $2,600. So when you equate that, when you break everything down, so again, if you use our Southwest link, which will be in the comment section of this video, you can book your hotel and flight for a 4-day trip for $680 if you're going by yourself. If you bring someone else, you're paying a little bit over $1,000, like $1,000 something dollars. It's not a lot, is that you get a very good discount by using our affiliate link. So you equate that. So let's say it's just you pay $680. That's for your hotel, your flight, everything. Cool. Maybe you'll probably spend $120 on food if you're not drinking. So if you go and you're practicing, you're building your deck, you're doing good, and you win $2,600, you just paid for your trip, and you got $2,000 in your pocket to go back home with.
Right.
And that's why I say, like, competitive players, and we're playing so hard for prizes like this. And again, I feel for Alpha Clash to have an event with this much prize, if you break it down that way, if you break down the pricing from first to 32nd placing on Sunday, if you equate the amount of money you're getting for just playing, it will pay for something on that trip.
Yeah.
So if you make 17th through 32nd, you get $100. That $100 just paid for all your food for the whole weekend. If you get 9th through 16th, you get $225. That just paid for your hotel. Now your hotel's free.
Right.
If you do even better, get 5th through 8th, $350. You done pay for your food and your hotel. 3rd or 4th, you get $650. If you went by yourself with our affiliate link and paid $680 for your flight, your hotel, you just paid your trip off.
Right.
And then if you get second place, you get $1,300. Now you done paid your trip off and you got money to come back home with. And if you win the whole damn thing, you're coming back home with $2,000 in your pocket, meaning that your entire trip was paid for. So all the time you equate it into practicing and playing, buying your cards, building your deck, the endless hours of play testing and networking people, and you won the whole event. Now you get a tier 3 invite, tier 4 invite, play mat, type A promos, and your trip is completely paid for.
Yeah.
And the best players, what they do is they take that prize money and they hold on to it, and they use that prize money to pay for their next event.
Yeah, that'd be the best smart thing to do.
Yes, and that's why I would say, like, that's what goes into it, and that's what's the part that's so impactful. And even now that they added more, like, what's going pricing, so like for Friday, from 12:30 to 2:45, they have Clash Kit challenges. It costs $10 to enter, but you get a booster pack per win. Booster packs we sell ours for $4.49. So with tax and everything, you win twice. It paid for your entry. The welcome event, you get a free welcome deck. So those are going on day. Super Rivalry, Super Clash Kits, you get $20 to enter. You get special promos and tournament packs. So again, like when we go to these events, a lot of people are looking at the events and saying, "Hey, this is not worth it," or "Hey, this is worth it."
Right.
That's the biggest thing people look at. That's why a lot of tournaments fail, because people are looking at like, "Oh, this is not worth it," and that's why Lorcana had to introduce their judge program and the actual organized play, because people were going, "Okay, cool, going to local, paying $5 a month, getting a promo and a pin and a pack. That's cool, but there's nothing else for me. I really don't want to do this anymore."
Right.
They had to introduce their program. Alpha Clash was working on an organized play, and they announced it with a bang, like, "Hey, here's Vegas." I do wish we got a little bit more of a heads up on it. I do believe it coming in right after Christmas, when people already kind of spent their Christmas money. I feel like that was a huge blow, but it does give you 4 months to kind of get that back and recruit for that. I do wish that, but I do love that they, when they announced it, they announced everything for the full year. So now you know exactly where things are going to be. But yeah, those are all my things that I have for it. That's why I would say to any other significant other, like, look at those things and ask the person, who's playing, like, why are you playing? What are you playing for? And when they hear it, it's like, oh, that's a lot. That's actually really good. Any comments from you?
I mean, you kind of covered all of it, and like I said, just be that support. That little bit of interest goes a long way.
It really does. Now, have you ever been to a tournament and played in a tournament, like a big tournament, not locals, but a big tournament?
One.
Tell the listeners about what happened there, because I would love to talk about that.
The first one that I ever played in was a Vanguard tournament.
How'd you do?
Not very well.
What happened?
So it was a team of 3. I got my last matchup was with the same deck or similar deck. So it was kind of like a, what do you call them?
Mirror match?
Yeah, mirror match. And I 100% feel like the guy cheated. But my deck stalled. His deck performed, and because I wasn't drawing cards that I needed to give me that win, I took the loss. And then we lost the tournament due to the other team member on our team that just didn't want to play anymore.
So to put it in perspective, I didn't drop a single game. My 2 teammates both lost all their games, and so what I did was, because I was upset, I was mad, like I was irritated. I
didn't lose all of my games.
You did.
I did not. I lost 1. The other teammate lost all of his games.
Either way, we ended up losing, so I got mad, and I said, you know what, so whatever that tournament ended, but I did get to meet the creators of Vanguard, so that I got to take a picture with them. So for me, that was a highlight of my day. I got my Blaster Blade signed by the voice actor for Ryotinccg. So for me, that was my moment. But the other moment was, I said, you know what, I'm good at this game, I'll improve my point. So the people who won the tournament, I went and battled all 3 of them and beat every single last one of them and said, cool, and I walked away. And for me, that's why for a while the Vanguard community people could call me the unclaimed king, because I was good, but I never got to really show it. Like, I would always win at locals, but any tournament I either couldn't get to, or they started doing you had to have the 3 people on your team, you all played at once. And it was one thing where I could never find people who were, I'm sorry to say this way, who were as good as me that I believe I can actually play with to win. And I just stopped playing. And competitive, so I just went to locals and played in locals and win that. And then I'm like, cool, I'm disappear for like 6 months. And I come back, win, disappear for a year. Came back, store was shut down. Don't know how that happened. They were not there no more. Now, how do you like playing against me? Okay, that's the question. What is the experience playing against me?
Experience playing against you. It's at first it was very frustrating because I felt like the decks that were my decks were not as strong as your decks.
Mm-hmm.
Your decks were 20 times stronger than mine, and I was losing every game. Now that set 2 is out, I pretty much overtook one of your decks. I actually stand a chance.
Oh, you stand a chance.
I mean, I've solar smashed you to 0 health more than once.
So, I know you've seen some of our matches, even with guys from Rogue Contenders. Who would you say, and no bias here, who would you say is the best player on the team? I'm gonna start some controversy.
Well, I feel obligated to say you because you are my husband. But between what I've seen, honestly, I don't think I could pick one.
No, we're not gonna do that. I said I'm willing to say mine. Well, I want to hear what you got to say.
I can't pick one because you guys all play very well. You all know your decks through and through. It's just it could be like how my deck was the other day, where it stalled. It didn't want to give me any clash cards at all, and all I got was accessories and weapons, or my clash buffs.
So I will say this. I do believe, and this is comparing all of us, and I don't mean any kind of harshness when I say this or any kind of disrespect to anybody, but I would say the best player on the Rogue Contenders is 100% Jay Crane. I would say the best deck builder on there would have to be Drake. And Andrew, I haven't seen him play as much, so I don't know. But he's like that. Every time we play, he's like that sneaky guy in the back that's like just doing stuff, and you know that he's over here doing his board just great. And you look over, and it's too late because you're getting freaking boomed in the face, and you're like, "Whoa, stop, stop!" He's like, "Boom, boom, boom." Like, so I don't know how he plays yet. I wouldn't even rank myself as one of the best players on Rogue Contenders. I would say I probably have the most out of the box ideas, and that's kind of my biggest thing. Is I don't think when I build my decks, I don't build conventional style decks. Whatever I play is going to be something very unique. I have different strategies for it, and I build my decks based upon how I played games in Vanguard. Where it's like, okay, cool. My new thing now is I want to be able to restand my clash cards. I want to be able to chain multiple attacks in a single turn. That is my main objective.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I absolutely hate.
I know, because like, I've always played Reset Vanguards. Like when Royal Paladins got Reset Vanguard, I loved it. Like if it has, like any deck that had Reset Vanguard, I would play it all the time. I love chaining attacks together.
And now we're dealing with it with you and Haven.
No, not even Haven. When you think about it, it's Conquest.
Oh, Conquest is in your Haven.
Yeah, because Conquest, T-Bone, Frontline are some of the only cards that can restand, I guess, Warzone. But that's in the turn. But I like those restanding cards. So like, cool, I can keep pressuring you down. And I feel like Frontline is a card that's getting way off topic. But Frontline is a card that people are not paying attention to. But I know I played against Jay Crane, and I did hit him with Strikebringer attack, Frontline restand attack again. And he didn't know that Strikebringer kept that attack bonus at the end of turn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like building unconventional decks, because like I'd rather build a deck with something that you will not see coming, because if you don't see it coming, you can't plan for it. You'll go, okay, cool, I blocked the first Strikebringer attack, I'm pretty much good. Cool, I'm gonna drop Frontline, restand, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, that is when you drop that Frontline with Strikebringer, just know that that's the time that you want to end that game.
It's exactly, because it's really hard to deal with. You get Strikebringer outright, and it's swinging for 8-3, and let's say you have 5 left, it has a breakthrough, so you really can't defend it. So cool, you may block the first one. You're like, cool, I'm gonna take this one. I'll be good to next turn. Cool, Frontline, restand, I'm do it again. What are you actually going to do at that point?
Yeah, you got that 8-3. Play that Frontline. You can also do say you let the first one you block the first one, but then I Frontline you. I'm hitting you with the same 8-3, but now on top of that, I have one resource that's left open. Now I clash buff. That gives me another +3.
So now I'm swinging for 11 +4, and if I find a way to close that portal up, Frontline gives me +1 defense. So your normal conventional way to destroy Strikebringer with getting rid of is 3 defense. Now you're dealing with something that's either 4 or 5 defense. That's swinging for 11. What can you really do? And I said things like that I really do enjoy a lot. And that's the way I build it. That's why I feel like I can't consider myself the best player, because running things that's very unconventional, I'm not going to be consistent.
Right.
I'm always changing and updating the deck and moving things. I know you look at that a lot, like, why are you changing the deck a lot? Because I'm trying out different things. I'm trying to see what works.
Oh, you do that a lot.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to see what combination of cards work together and find a way to make things unconventional not work. I know Drake has a fantastic series that we're starting on the channel called Drake's Deck Tech Corner. So if you ever want some insight on the more technical side of deck building, definitely check that out as well. And I know when I do my deck profiles, I love the comments I get for that. But again, I do that a lot because I want people to brainstorm thing like, hey, just because this card says this one thing doesn't mean you need to play it that one way. There's multiple ways to play these cards, multiple ways to do things. And I feel like that's, you could say that I'm a very skilled player for that because it takes a skilled player to put together unconventional stuff and then make it work. And that's why I say I keep harping on Haven so much. Because a lot of people say, oh, Haven will lose automatically. Here comes the boom. Where I've proven that, yes, I can lose the boom, but there's times where I don't lose the boom.
Yeah.
And it's about how can I recover my board from getting boomed, or how can I stand up to things like torque? And I'm like, okay, cool. Way to handle torque is to play a lot of quick cards. Don't play a lot of traps. So it's just working out things to play. I also find I do a lot of mental manipulation during my games.
Yes.
So I will look at cards in my hand a lot. I will look at cards that are face down. I will check my resources. I will ask questions, kind of throw you off like, okay, what is he planning for? The illusion is that I'm giving like, cool, whatever you're about to do, I have a counter for it to make you second guess. Now, people who are just really gung-ho on their thing, they may go through and hit, or I may have just manipulated you to do it, and now you fell directly into my trap.
Yeah, you've done that to me.
Multiple times, and it's fun. Like, it's so fun to watch people go, hey, you go, ha ha. But yeah, so that is our time today. So again, if you like this spin-off series, just let me know down below. We would love to keep this going. So again, like I said, I don't know when this video is going to go up because we recorded this one, but we probably put it in between maybe an episode where the guys we all can't get together or we got stuff to do. We might put this up, see how it does. Because again, I would love to bring this a series where we answer your questions about love, marriage, and card games. So again, this has been Ryotin.
This bigger girl.
Catch you in the next one.